For a generation,
Black and White Rag, performed by Winifred Atwell,
was the theme tune to the BBC's long-running snooker show Pot Black. But in the 1950s, its performer was one of the biggest stars in Britain. Not only did she have a groundbreaking music career, but she also opened one of the most important British hair salons.
Winifred Atwell was born in Trinidad and Tobago in 1915. From an early age, her middle-class parents recognised she had a gift.
She was something of a child prodigy. I mean, by the age of 6, she was performing Chopin piano recitals.
With her family's full support, she pursued her dream of becoming a classical pianist by first studying in New York. Then, in 1946, she moved to London, where she attended the Royal Academy of Music. To support herself, she played the club circuit, and in 1947 she married Lou Levison, who gave up his career to become her manager. Lou knew his wife had the talent to be a star, but it would take a dramatic shift to a much more popular style of music.
Winifred Atwell, of course it is!
So what was it like in post-war Britain around the time Winifred came about?
Britain was very bleak and miserable, and what people needed was something that was joyful and happy.
How did she get spotted, do you know?
She substituted for an artist who went sick. A charity show at the London Casino in 1948. That was the first event that propelled her to stardom.
Winnie's rise to fame gained momentum after a savvy junk shop purchase.
Well, now, that sounded slightly posh, you know. Isn't there another piano that's not so posh?
Oh, yes.
You've had this a long time, haven't you?
I have indeed.
Thank you very much.
Legend has it that she found this battered old other piano, as she called it, in a Battersea junk shop. I think she paid about £4 for it. And she would play the grand piano and play Rachmaninoff, and then this would be wheeled on afterwards. And she would just do this kind of honky-tonk music and liven the whole thing up.
Winifred was the first British artist to have 3 consecutive million-selling hits. In the 1950s, her mainstream popularity was unprecedented.
very much indeed. That was charming. Look, there's something I'd like to show you.
Yes?
Something I think will interest you very much.
Whatever's this? Not a piano, surely.
Oh, it is. It's over 100 years old.
Well,
Yeah, it's been in our family for 80 years.
well, I've never seen one like this back home.
Oh, quaint, isn't it? I've been offered quite a lot of money for it, but I don't want to sell. You see, it's a family relic, and I'd like to keep it in the family.
May I try it?
Oh, please do. Afraid you won't get much tone out of it.
Britain was in flux. With the war over, immigration was encouraged to boost the economy.
Jobs were easy to come by, but integration was not. Ethnic minorities were often met with prejudice.
And that prejudice extended as far as where a woman could or couldn't get her hair done. And it was for that reason that in 1956, Winifred Atwell opened what's believed to be the first hair salon specifically designed for black women, here on this very spot. Now, the building has long since gone, but the legacy lives on.
Errol Douglas, an Afro hair specialist, appreciates just how important the Winifred Atwell salon must have been.
Instead of being hidden away and oppressed in, you know, somebody's room, she had a high street shop. You know, it was unheard of. So I think it pulled the community together. And it's just like a watering hole. If you've got some place to go to get your hair done, you can talk about politics, you can talk about this, you can talk, you know, you can get your children together, you can get your husbands together. So it's a good community base, I think.
By the 1960s, rock and roll was dominating the charts. Honky-tonk piano playing had become unfashionable.
Winifred moved to Australia with husband Lou, but even then remained a pioneer. Such was her celebrity status that the Australian government made an exception to their whites-only immigration policy and let her in. Lou sadly died in 1978, and although she performed for the next few years, she never really got over the shock of his death. And she sadly died in 1983.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the Wheel Tappers and Shunters, we proudly present the First Lady of the Keyboard, Winifred Atwell.